Hello class, today I'll be going over my vocabulary project. My class will be a 12th grade physical education class and we will be using the pyramid diagram, which I got from the textbook. Description of the pyramid diagram. From the book, it says, the pyramid diagram strategy guides students in selecting appropriate information from a reading to be analyzed and helps them consider possible implications of this material. So this is more for if you're diving into a textbook and you're trying to analyze stuff about that textbook. I'm going to use it more for using it in a gym class since there wasn't a lot of gym options. So I'm going to be using it by picking a sport, for example, and we could dive into the history of the sport, or we could use it more for rules or something like that. So start with like basketball and break it down, like offense, defense, have rules for each, just keep breaking it down under the pyramid. How did I find this strategy? I found this strategy from the textbook. It was one of many great strategies I could have used. The textbook is called Classroom Strategies for Interactive Learning by Doug Boole. Why use this strategy? Here's an example. Sorry, my screen is in the way. Um, this is an example from the text. So, like I said, we could also integrate history, but as you see, it starts off with the main point up top, breaks it down a little bit more, breaks it down a little bit more, and as it breaks down each time, it gets into more sections. So yeah, by the end, you have all these. Like he was a writer, he was an inventor, he was a scientist, he was a statesman. So yeah, same thing. I could do something very similar with basketball. Have like basketball, offense, defense, rules about offense, like no traveling, or so you can write like travel and maybe like a definition of traveling, or double dribbling and the definition of that. And then for defense, you can do, whatever there is, like charging or whatever it is. How would I integrate this? I would integrate this into a rules section or history, like I've said. Yeah, I kind of just actually talked about the whole thing. How will this help the students? This could really help with the vocabulary. You could have them do like specific terms about the sport, um, or specific terms about the history. It could really help with the history, just knowing the history of sports. It could also help with knowing the rules of the sport. You dive really deep into the rules, which is very useful, especially when the unit begins. How would I assess this? I could assess this in a few different ways. The ways I would personally do it would be either an exit slip, so have them do the pyramid diagram for a lesson, and then at the very end of the lesson, give them a small exit slip that's just like, what did you think about this? Do you think this helped you? Rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, for example. Um, so yeah, I think that would be a good way to assess. Another way would be an end of unit test results. So for say a baseball unit, I don't do the pyramid diagram, and then we get to the basketball unit and I do. And at the end of each unit, I will be doing a test to assess what the students learned. So at the end of the basketball unit, we do the pyramid diagram and I can just compare test results and be like, okay, do they have a higher score in the baseball unit or in the basketball unit? And that would be another way I could assess a little bit. But I think an exit slip, knowing what the students like, would probably be more beneficial and more accurate because if the students enjoy it and they feel like it helps them, then it probably will help them. So, and that is all. Thank you.